Previously on Follow the Leader. The adventure is over. You have reached level 13 of the deepest dungeon and slain the dreaded menace that once guarded the legendary treasure. One thing remains for you and your adventuring companions to do. Claim the loot. Here it is before your very eyes. The treasure itself, visible only in the light of your sputtering torches. There is not quite as much as you had anticipated. Not even close. This is a problem.
So I'm playing a character named Adlai, who I have not played yet on this podcast because I kind of made him up in the past week. He is a warrior, but sort of in parentheses I've written, like, he's a paladin, kind of, still. He's a sort of tall, older gentleman. He's got very long hair, pulled back into a ponytail. He seems haunted, definitely has depression, very prone to anger, very, I am the law. His virtue is that he is pious, and his vice is that he is vengeful.
I am going to be playing Coyote once again. And in this iteration, they are the mage or wizard. They, them pronouns. They're very soft, maybe 5 foot even, maybe. Very soft in build. Long red hair worn pinned up because when it's down, it falls to their lower back. Freckled tan skin and large brown eyes flecked with gold. They wear robes of green and a similar gold worn over fawn-coloured leggings and soft brown boots. Their virtue is forgiving, their vice is rash.
And I will be playing Temel Jumos, who is a rogue, uses she/her pronouns. Her description is average height, a little wafy, tan skin and wavy dark hair. In particular, I'm using Aisha Hart from BBC's Atlantis as a face claim. She always looks super relaxed, but does have some small bit of movement about her at all times, whether if she's moving or... Is that like a mysterious breeze underground shifting your hair around? Who really knows? You don't, and she won't tell. Her virtue is active, and her vice is boastful.
We are maybe now following that, following our, maybe we piled rocks on top of her body and put her staff in the pile of rocks to say this is who was here. Maybe immediately following that, we make our way down the stairs into the cavern below. And opening these doors, we see shelves of books, and, it's all gilded, it's all very gaudy. There's pedestals displaying artifacts everywhere. Everything is covered with a heavy layer of dust, but is otherwise pristine.
We now return to your game, already in progress. Okay, it's me. So Sam, you could come up with if you see a moment that feels like I've got an idea for a complication, or I know how I could complicate things now.
Fuck yeah, okay.
You just need to have a positive and a negative option for what could happen. So, ditto, Mab can come up with it as well. So, all right. So, this is, yeah, sure. Coyote wandering down one of the spokes, as it were, and they've got a small disc of energy floating next to them that they're putting things on. And yeah, they're scanning the shelves, looking at the list, and periodically they'll find something, and then they'll add it to the disc. And I figure this is an opportunity for Temel to come in, while Adlai is just stomping around somewhere. Because I imagine, it's a decent-sized room, but it's not that big. You gotta try and... If you want to avoid him,
I like the idea that eventually Coyote realizes that there's footsteps following them, but they're not at ground level. They're coming closer to head level. And Temel's just really bored walking along the top of one of the bookshelves. Just like one of the smaller ones so she can keep pace.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually like picks up her own pace a little bit and drops down, so now she's like back on the floor and just kind of like has her arms crossed. She's like, what'd you say to the big log to piss him off?
I told him not to put his faith in the wrong thing.
Ooh, yeah, touchy subjects for them paladin types.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He seems to believe that there is no way our benefactors could have had the wrong information about why we're here or what we're here for.
He's never been hired for a job like this before, has he?
I don't think so, no. But in the spirit of cooperation, I am going through the list right now, seeing what I can find from it.
I mean, and we don't think, like, just taking what we can and booking it isn't a better idea?
Somewhere, Adlai's head just swivels 180 degrees.
I hear someone breaking the law.
My crime sense is tingling. I think that we could do that, sure, but I have my own things that I want to try and find while we're here.
Yeah, we can find them, and then we can go.
Look, I get it, and I want to get out of here as much as you do. I really, really fucking do. But I need to find what I'm looking for before we can do that.
Yeah, well, I'm great at finding things and keeping those findings secret. She gives, like, a pointed, like, nod of her head in the direction of where Adlai's footsteps are, you know, audible. So let me know.
His armor's a jangling.
Yeah. His armor is a jangling. A jingle jangle.
Coyote looks round, obviously the sound of the approaching clankety 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 clank, and quickly, rather than write it down, like creates a small illusory effect between the two of them.
I mean, I've got a complication there.
Hell yeah. What's the complication?
I mean, easily the complication could be, like, Adelaide does turn a corner and see you guys, like, down along, like you guys are just in the right position where Adelaide turns the corner one way and sees whatever this object is that you're projecting, or he turns the corner the other direction and doesn't see it.
All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. I'm just going to roll 2d6.
I was just, like, reading the thing, and it was saying, like, complications can be simple like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so he's going to see this. I rolled a 4.
Yeah.
So the small illusion that Coyote summons is a tome, a book, with, like, a black leather cover. And it's not a thick tome. It's quite, like, not like a Yellow Pages or something like that. And it looks almost like, more like a notebook, like leather wrapped that way. And it has, it's clearly, like, well worn. And for the sake of drama, there is a symbol on the cover that is possibly what catches Adlai's eye about it. But it's the symbol of the god of death.
Ooh.
Hell, let's bring her into it. I sure do won't mind. It's the symbol of Ningal.
Ah.
All universes are created equal in FTL. They all share the same space.
And I don't know if because we said about him seeing this.
Yeah.
But, like, Coyote summons that illusion, and he has the moment to see it and see it clearly before the illusion can be dismissed.
Yep.
Again. So.
And I also think that, like, when you cast the illusion, like, there is just something in, like, Temel's eyes that light up, because she's just kind of like, oh man, look at this magic. This is some magic shit and I want it.
All right.
Part of me wants to add, like, deeply suspicious of magic to Adlai's character. Make him a Templar, too.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it. I mean, we'll know, even if I can't say it. But I think, does he like approach?
I think he's sort of squinting from afar, and I think he doesn't, like, approach, but, like, he makes it clear that, like, he's watching in kind of an ominous way.
Like, does Quixote notice, or is it, like, just an audience notices?
I don't know.
It's like the camera at the other end of the spoke and, like, sees through the illusion. You have, like, one of those racked focus shots of him seeing it and squinting.
Fuck yeah.
At it.
Love it. Love that. Yes, please. That's what it's like.
And I think the illusion gets dismissed. And maybe then Quixote does glance in that direction and promptly tugs the little disc of energy back in the opposite direction, back where they were coming from.
And just very quickly, like, scuttles off. Marches off, maybe. Yes, I'm not doing anything wrong. Don't look at me.
It's not like the walk away of a guilty person. It's more just like, I don't want to engage with you right now.
Yeah, like, I'm not fucking dealing with this. Yeah, I feel like Adlai probably is agreed.
All right.
Whose turn next?
Temple.
Let's see. What do I want to do? Well, there are only 3 of us, so there's not a lot of space to have many people in scenes, but I do want to have a scene with both of you, and I like the idea of just, like, us sitting around having our meal or whatever, and there is just that fun, heavy atmosphere between everybody. And I think Temel is trying to play it light, and has the list from Quixote and is just kind of going through it, and also trying to see, which of these things can we disguise as other things? You know, like, oh, well, there's this tome by so-and-so. What if we just change the letters on the cover a little bit? And, our benefactor won't know. Lord Galen on high will never know the difference.
God, actually, this is just making me think about how, like, oh, you're gonna have to interact with Galen again. As the king now, many years on from our, follow game. And he's just probably just, like, gonna be...
Oh, you're back again.
Oh, it's you. You.
They were amicable.
Yeah.
He thought she died fighting a dragon.
That's true, actually. But he had to babysit you for, like, a fucking week, and it sucked.
Yeah, I know. It was great.
It was a good time. Anyways, back to... So during this, like, everybody is quietly eating.
Yeah, like, really, there's, rations are definitely running thin at this point.
Yeah.
And, they're trying to make them last and trying to make light of, like, hey, we survived, at least, right?
Adlai is just very studiously writing down the events of the day in his journal.
All right, Quixote, tell me, like, what do you think that you can do to, like, manipulate some of these things, right? Like, can you? I'm decent at forgery, but I don't know if we have a lot of time.
Has stopped writing. His, like, quill is poised over his parchment, and he's just looking at you, like... He, like, looks at you as if over glasses in spirit, but he does not wear glasses.
Beautiful. I'm an evoker, not a transmuter. Well, some illusion, but mostly evocation. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I was just trying to make your jobs easier.
Don't encourage her. He's, like, looking at Quixote like, what the fuck?
What? Like, the whole point is, if we bring back more treasure, you get paid more, right? Like...
That does not excuse... Sorry, wait.
Crime,
but I was gonna say deception.
Oh.
But it's not
I know, I was gonna say Temel just fills in crime.
Oh. He glares at you and he goes, deception.
Is it a deception, though? Because, like, he doesn't know what he's getting. He's never seen these objects before. For all he knows, Well, that's literally the description of deception, isn't it?
Oh, well, I'm glad you've caught on at least. He turns his face back down to keep writing, but he's like looking at you from the corner of his eye every so often, like he sort of like turns to Kyoto and goes, "So how much of it were you able to find?"
Is this the complication roll?
Yeah.
Is this? It's Mab scene technically,
right.
so technically it needs to really be a complication for Temel.
For Temel.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I was going to say the complication is positively more of it's there.
Negatively less if it is, but yeah, that doesn't really work.
I mean, the question can
Oh,
still
there
be...
we go. I've got it.
Yes.
The positive outcome is Coyote. The positive outcome for Temel is Coyote hasn't found the hairpin amongst the stuff that they're about to list off. So the positive outcome for Temel is that it isn't on that list, or that Coyote hasn't found it, because we could say there was stuff there that wasn't on the list.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of things that are not on the list, so...
So how do you like? Positive for Temel is that Coyote hasn't encountered this item yet, and ergo, Adlai won't know about it. Negative is that they haven't found it.
Wait, sorry. No, I thought it's...
Bad for Temel is that Coyote knows that this hairpin is around, and is about to tell Adlai about it. Positive for Temel is that they haven't found it.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because my brain just...
Or that it wasn't ever on the list to begin with?
I think that's also why Temel's been looking at the list, is to see if it's been on there or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, like, also, if it is on the list, then I think the point still remains, is, like, so long as she grabs it first, it's fine. And it just has gone missing, and it's just another one of the missing things.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so the positive and negative outcomes remain the same, if it's on the list or not. So, alright, so you're gonna add a die?
Oh, that's a good question. What do I want? I will take a negative die, I think.
Alright, slide your karma pool over to the left, and roll 2d6 minus 1d6. Ooh. Yep.
I got real bad, fam. I got 2.
Boy.
We're just going downhill.
So to be fair, this is dramatically very good. For Temel, perhaps not.
Yeah, no, this is great for Adlai.
So as Coyote goes through this list, rolling some times, and they get down to this. Oh, and I found this small collection of personal effects, low-level enchanted. Suppose that's why they haven't been taken before. A couple of different things. A brooch, a necklace, set of hairpins.
Like, nothing shows on Temel's face, but she's definitely just, like, watching very intently as the list is read off.
All right. I mean, so how much of the stuff did we find?
Oh, well, that, and there's some of it there, and they point to the no longer hovering disc of energy, but the small stack of stuff, and it's not a big pile. And it's just like, and the jeweled items I mentioned are down that spoke over there. I didn't want to go breaking anything just yet.
Oh, we're gonna break things?
I'm sorry, we're breaking things.
It's a glass case that we don't have the key for, Adlai.
Sorry.
I can pick locks. We don't have to break it. We can break in.
Well, there we are. Semantics. And the smile Coyote gives Temel is a genuine one. That's semantics.
Adlai is not pleased about this, but he also kind of does acknowledge that, like, yeah, that's the only way we're going to get into this case, huh?
Just take the whole case with us.
We're not going to take the whole case with us.
Put yourself to use, big man. Carry this case.
He may be tall, but he is not as beefy as one might expect. He's beefy, but not like...
Not lift a ship mast beefy. That's another reference. Anyway. Alright. Is that scene?
Yes.
Alright. So background to you, Sam.
Oh boy, sure is, huh? Alright. I want to say that maybe Adlai, this is maybe a couple of hours later, Adlai is going through the pile, marking things off on the list. You know, making a list, checking it twice. No, he's not Santa. I don't know why we keep making this joke.
It's funny.
He's checking things off. He's making sure that he marks, you know, he's basically cataloging everything that they do have. And I don't think they've gone through the whole library yet. Like, it's a pretty big room. But he's making sure that he's taking careful notes of exactly what has been found so far and what has not. I don't know if either of your characters are around. You guys can decide that. But I think it's, like, important to have this, like, scene. Even if it's not, like, I keep doing these little soliloquy style scenes. And I feel bad about that.
I do I like the idea also of, because we can do solo scenes, like we've done solo scenes before, but it is, because we're still in the tower, and the tower still hungers, probably.
Goof.
And so, like, this is one of the things that I really enjoy about doing this, is just kind of, like, adding atmosphere to the scenes. And, you know, he's there trying to do inventory, so to speak. And he does just get kind of a cold feeling on the back of his neck, and, like, a very soft breeze. And, you know, he can... You know, it's like, oh, you know, any which way, it might be Kyode or Temel, like, pulling a prank on him. But just that kind of, like, atmosphere that starts, like, pushing down on him, and the room sort of, like, feels like it's dimming a little bit, and in which case the complication is that if you turn around, you know, the negative outcome is that we always do this where we don't know which one's which, where, like, one outcome is you see, like, a shadow flitting around the corner of a bookcase, and the other outcome is, like, you don't see anything, but you do still feel, like, the atmosphere hanging on behind you.
Okay, so I'm not going to add or subtract any dice.
Anything, just period.
Yeah. /R.
But which is which? Is it going to be if 7+? Would you rather it see something? Does that feel like positive?
I think it's negative, actually. Like, I think seeing something is negative because then it also makes him think this is Temel or Kyode, and so, like, it just feeds into that paranoia that he has about either of them. All right.
So I guess he is going too far towards the paranoid very quickly. I got an 8.
Oh,
that's bad. A success. That's a positive outcome.
Yeah. Our first positive outcome so far.
Go squad.
Woo! So yeah, he doesn't see anything. He sort of squints into the darkness for a second and pulls his cloak tighter around his shoulders and turns back to his work with, like, a mutter of, like, must have just been my imagination. Yeah. That's some spooky fucking atmospheric shit. I love it. All right, Jade, you're up.
Okay.
Love to be spooky. Love to spook.
Love to spook. This is that same night, I think. This is where the Kyode thinks the others are presumably asleep, but they have been having trouble sleeping, so they are not. So they're, like, offered to take first watch. But of course they're using the time to keep looking, because they're trying to find this tome in black leather. And they have I think some of the magic lanterns have been dimmed so people can sleep. Like, maybe it's just a small pool of them at one end where people suffer, and Kyode is down one of the other spokes. And rather than it being a torch, they have summoned sort of magical fire around one of their hands to light the way. And they're sort of using that to look up and down the bookshelves while with their other hand, like, skimming along the shelves. It's like a magical fire, so more light than heat.
Mm.
So they're not at risk of setting stuff on fire. But I just liked the visual of that more because of follow the leader reasons. Because I'm being on my bullshit.
Gotta just be on your bullshit.
Gotta be on my bullshit. But that's what this is. This is... Who knows what fucking time of day it is, but it's when the others are nominally sleeping. They don't have to be. One of them could easily have woken up and be in this scene, or the complication can be something else, or if somebody wants to talk to them, they can. This is only the second scene, so it can go either way.
I don't mind it if, Adlai like if the complication is like maybe you knock as you're skimming your fingers over the the back of the shelves or the backs of the books, you knock something over and it makes a really loud noise that echoes through the room, and or you do this is the complication, and it either wakes somebody up or it doesn't.
Does that feel like enough of a consequence?
I mean, if somebody wakes up, the consequence is, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Sneaking around while we're all asleep.
Sure.
I mean, like, Temple would just be like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wakes up Adlai then, as the consequence.
All right. So the positive is that I'm able to continue unhindered.
Yes.
I like it both ways. So
a little bi humor in there for
a
you.
little bi humor. So I'm just gonna let the dice decide. I'm not gonna add one way or the other. Okay, he wakes up.
Another 4 for you.
Oh, you rolled a 4?
Oh, I tell you what.
What?
Though it isn't Coyote's fault, something just falls.
Oh, spooky.
Yeah, I like that.
Something recoils from their light.
Oh, I like that.
Like, they don't see one of the shadows, like, recoiling, like this little mode of darkness, but it recoils back and knocks something over. And it's like this clang of metal hitting the ground.
And there's a second clang of metal as Adlai jumps to his feet and, like, is...
Of course this fucker sleeps in his armor. Jeez. There's no way to sleep, dude. No wonder you're miserable. Please continue.
I mean, at the same time, then that also wakes up Temel if you're just clanging around in your armor.
Yeah, that's good. Now
Yeah.
everyone's awake.
She's just kind of like, God, what the fuck?
I feel like he's not wearing all of his armor, but he's probably wearing a couple of pieces of it still. Because I don't think he
Sure.
trusts either of you guys to help him take it off.
Wow.
Yeah. I was kind
Fair.
of like, I could still stab you in your sleep, but if it's taking it off, then that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he legitimately, like, just can't take some of it off without a help. And he doesn't trust you guys. After all you've been through together, he still doesn't trust you for this.
I mean, it's valid, but...
So he stomps over and is like, announce yourself, who's out there? Because he's still under the impression that, something might be here that intends them harm. He's like, holding his sword out, half dressed in armor, being, announce yourself.
I feel like Coyote steps out from the shelf, from the stack. He's just like, put it away, Adlai. It's just me.
Well, he, puts his sword back into the scabbard and goes, I don't see why you were skulking around in the darkness at this time of potentially night, depending on whether or not we've gotten turned around vis-a-vis the day-night cycle during our time underground.
Oh my god, shut up.
I couldn't sleep, Adlai, and so I thought I would keep looking for the things on our list.
Well,
this is a barefaced lie, but she is, she is also kind of true, but they are very charismatic.
All right. He goes, well, that was very admirable of you, but perhaps it is time to return to your bed to try again. We will all be better for it if we all have some rest. He's like taking this at face value and is going, good job, I'm proud of you, but you should sleep.
But he's also not gonna go back to bed until they come with him and go back to the bed.
Probably.
Rolls like kind of a vibe. Gotcha. So they can't continue searching tonight.
Yeah, he's got this sort of like, oh, well, in that case, I shall, not quite gently mothering you, but sort of
Ugh.
half kindly forcing you to go back to sleep.
Yeah, gotcha. I like it. All right. And there's, as they sort of walk past him to head back, they and move towards the light, they extinguish the flame around their hand, and the camera sees like moving little pockets of shadow sort of move back, sort of towards them.
Silence in the Library vibes here.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, that was a good arc.
It was a good arc. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that scene.
Nice. Wow, these games go much faster with only 3 people.
Yeah. Yes. This is also a game that's fairly easy to keep short. So, let's see here. I think that this is probably another night, or maybe, during the day. Who knows? We don't know what time it is. But I want Temel to be breaking into something else. So, not the display with the jeweled hair pieces or anything like that. But she did find some other locked box and is going to make a distraction of herself doing that, I think. So, again, whoever would like to join, if anyone, or we can just all have solo scenes of us being creeped on by darkness in the tower.
I kind of like that, being a solo scene. Like, you can hear the others moving around doing their own thing. So there's... Ooh, yeah. You're working and you hear, like, footsteps intermittently as, like, people move around and check, and you hear the clang of Adlai's armor. And you hear, like, the slight swish of Quixote's robes. And I think, again, this is like a low camera shot. There's a third different sounding set of footsteps, but Temel is focused on what she's doing. So maybe hasn't twigged that there is a third distinct sound of somebody moving around.
I feel like maybe Adlai is trying to, like, track this third set of footprints. Or, like, footsteps.
Yeah, maybe it's like like the clip of heeled boots.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Almost.
Oh, yeah, that's very Ningal.
It's very Ningal, but also, like, we don't know who the wizard was in this tower.
Right, yeah.
But it's like that slight heeled boot on a wooden floor, kind of a regular clip sound, because I said Quixote wears soft boots and has robes, and then it's the clang of, like, I forget what the foot covering part of a full armor is.
I want to say tassets, but I'm going to check.
But yeah, it's not that.
Right.
It's soled boots, heeled boots, clipping on the floor. That was almost poetic.
Yeah. I was wrong about it being tassets. Tassets is the thing on the sides of the legs.
Ah.
You were on the right part of the body.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. Close enough.
Okay.
So, which... Is that the complication?
Oh, okay. Complication is you're able... What is your goal?
I think she's mostly just, like, a part of her wants to see if others are aware that she sneaks off and, like, breaks into other lockboxes that are throughout the library or something like that. And so she's, like, testing this on a few different things before she goes after the hairpins.
Okay.
Okay. And so, yeah, it's just mostly like, am I gonna get caught? How aware are these people?
What kind of shoes does Temel wear?
She wears soft-soled boots also, because she's a rogue. She's got a sneak.
Fair enough.
Got a snack.
I wonder who Adlai thinks he's following.
Yeah.
We can worry about that in his scene.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that could be, like, concurrent. That could be concurrent. Like, while this is going on, then your next scene can also be happening now.
All right.
As we're about to loop back round. Okay, the complication. Positive outcome. You're able to get this case open, whisper quiet, and you get something interesting to pocket for yourself that's not on the list but is very nice. Something that maybe appeals to your sensibility, and you'll get the box locked back again, even. The negative thing is that as you are working on the lock, I will happily describe it for you. Something startles you, and you break off your thieves' tool in the lock.
Ooh.
In your surprise.
So now you can't pick any locks.
Well, now you got 2 reasons to try get into the case with the hairpins in.
Yeah. I can't decide which one I want better, so I'll just roll 2d6.
Fair.
7. Yes.
That's a success.
Whew.
I'll tell you what, because I like this. So you are able to... You get it unlocked, you flip open the glass lid, you get whatever you want, out of it. And as you shut it down again and it's angled, and you go to lock it, for a split second, next to your reflection in the glass, you see the reflection of somebody else.
Yes.
I know we're going to have to bust out the spoopy theme again for this episode.
Oh,
and frankly,
Spoopy.
I'm here for it.
I love it. I'm very excited.
I think, like, as she sees that, she immediately, like, whips around and has, like, one dagger in her hand, but there's obviously nothing there. And then she, like, is poised that way for a moment, has, you know, the object in one hand, the dagger in the other, and then she's just, like, silent and very still, and then immediately, like, flips the dagger, sheaths it, and then tosses the thing in her hand and considers it, and then just walks away.
Nice. Meanwhile,
Adlai is following some footsteps. He's not, like, actively running in circles around this library, but he's walking at a pretty fast clip. He's, like, trying to catch up with the sound of footsteps that does not sound like any of our of our current remaining party members, but maybe sounds like the footsteps of somebody we lost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe it's that.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to know, did they really survive and make it down here somehow? But he doesn't want to say anything yet in case he's wrong.
Or what if, like, when he speeds up, the footsteps speed up, and when he slows down, they slow down?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Like, he can never quite catch up.
Yeah. Alright.
Can we decide maybe who it was? What characters do we have that would walk in these shitty shoes?
Shitty heeled boots. We could have been the warlock. Warlocks care about aesthetic.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's our warlock?
This could just be an NPC. This doesn't have to be somebody out of the FTL roster.
I know, I was like, oh god, now I have to think about that.
Yeah, that's fair. Part of me was like, everyone must be from the FTL roster, but...
Everyone technically is from the FTL roster.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
But yeah, so he's just... Mostly because, like, I almost wanted to have him, like, calling out this character's name to be like, hello?
I'm doing a thing.
What thing are you doing?
I'm trying to find a name for you.
It's like they're looking up a name.
Oh, fuck yeah. FantasyNameGenerators.com.
Do I like any of these? No. Morden.
Morden?
Morden, our warlock.
So he's sort of like, Morden? You know, he's like trying to walk as slowly as possible, thinking maybe his steps might just be longer than whoever is walking in these gaudy ass high heels. And I mean, the complication can simply be, does he see somebody? Does he see anything or not?
It could be.
I
think,
or you know, what do you think? Somebody else maybe introduce the complication, but he's like walking after this third set of footsteps that clearly doesn't belong to anybody still living in our party.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now I've just got to decide which of these is the positive and which is the negative.
What are the outcomes that we're picking on?
I feel like one is that you see, not quite zombie, but what looks like Morden clearly dead, but points you towards a specific bookcase. And then, and the other thing is, that's one outcome, is that you do turn the corner and you do get a visual and you get a direction. Like the negative outcome here, I think it's like you run yourself ragged, like doing this, and you just, it's that increased level of fear.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I know it's quite common in our group anyway, but that the whole thing with anxiety is like, it's like hearing the boss music, but the boss doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I think it's like that, and it's like this ratcheting up of anxiety.
Until he's like actually running around in circles in this tiny little, well, it's not a tiny library, but it's small enough. You know, he's running around in circles and not finding anything, and, you know, the rest of the group's gonna notice that.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So positive is you see an apparition and you get a direction
All right.
to find something. And negative is that you just get more and more.
I'm going to add a positive dice for this. So 3d6.
Okay, so slide in your karma pool, put that X to the right.
Okay. So
I think you were
3d6.
Yeah, 3d6. And then now you're back in...
This one.
+3, -2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually
success.
That's a success. All right. So
much success.
That's a big success. All right. So, you know, I finally turn the corner and there's our dead warlock, you know.
I think it's clear that he's because his neck is broken.
Yeah, I was gonna say like blood dripping from his nose, neck at an unnatural angle.
Yeah.
You know, none of our, you know, graphic depictions of bodily harm from our lines and veils, but like he's dead.
It's clear.
It's obvious.
Yeah. And he points off to one shelf particular, and you can clearly see where he's pointing.
Mm-hmm.
And he smiles at you.
I'm gonna have Adlai make some sort of, you know, hand signal of his divine, like not quite crossing himself because that's very Catholic, but like, you know, something like that, like the circle of the gods or something that is like, you know, a sign against evil before he approaches.
I think the apparition of Morden rolls his eyes. It's like, he's seen you do this before, he saw you do this, and this was always how Morden reacted when you did this.
Oh.
It's like a soft fondness, but like, you dumb paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this asshole.
I love this warlock that doesn't exist.
Somebody's gonna have to take this character and make them a new character.
All right, sure.
Come, Morden. I will be your mother. You will be my new son.
But yeah. And you go to this shelf.
I go to the shelf. What do I find on this shelf?
Oh, it's got to be the leather-bound.
Oh, it's Quixote's book.
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Ah, shit. And yeah, he's gonna pick it up sort of reverently and turn to Morden and say, "Thank you. I wish you peace on your journey onwards. May your soul rest now that this business has been done."
He smiles at you, and the teeth are a little bit too sharp.
Oof.
And then he disappears.
Oof. All right. He's gonna fucking do that circle of the gods thing again. He's like, way out of my pay rate, my fucking pay grade here. Jeez.
You got to hear by Jabez.
Yeah. And so he's gonna take the book. He's holding it.
All right. Okay, it's my scene. Do you want to give away that he's got that book quickly, or do you want to leave that hanging for a little bit?
I don't know. I think the first thing he's gonna do is check our fucking lists and see if it's on there. And if not...
Oh, it's not.
He's gonna have some questions.
Alright.
But I don't know if he's gonna do the stupid Phoenix Wright move of, let's show the guilty party exactly the thing that's gonna prove them guilty. 'Cause, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so this scene with Quixote, and both of you can be in this one if you like, rather than being a solo scene. I think this is like, they found most of the items on the list, or identified where they are if they're a bigger item. And sort of everything's sort of gathered up and ticked off. And there's more of despite the fact that the library has these gaps in, like, there's like maybe 4 or 5 items missing from the list, but maybe a couple of them are like ones that would have been like big ticket items, like of heavy value or significant worth. But they look frustrated, and like they've unpinned their hair at this point and have shaken out, and it's like this curtain of long red hair and they're just like carding their fingers through it, clearly a little bit stressed out. And they're maybe like pulling it into like rather than it being pinned up, they're like dragging their fingers through it and putting it into like this loose braid instead.
Nice. I feel like Adlai's probably gonna like rest a hand on Quixote's shoulder and say, at the very least, we found the majority.
Of course. What we were sent here to do.
He's raising an eyebrow, but he's trying to be comforting. You know, he's on friendly terms.
Sure.
He's like, and what else is there than what we were sent to do, what our purpose is? He's testing you here. He's not just being a dick.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well.
They look at him.
He doesn't smile. He's just, you know, gives a nod like, yeah, I mean what I said. What else could there be?
We all have our reasons for being here. I'd lie. Not all of... And it's not just about this, and they tap the list on the desk in front of them.
He's gonna squint at you, and he's gonna say, well, to take anything else from here that is not sanctioned by the crown would be theft, would it not?
Can you really steal from a dead man?
That's noted. He just looks down at his list.
And really, not to make you question more things, given how badly you took it last time, but theft sanctioned by the state is arguably still theft, is it not?
I do not believe so. But perhaps. He looks a little troubled, but he's not, like, mad. He's just like, that is a good point. Is it not still theft?
Crime really is a matter of perspective. Like, the law is all well and good, but who's making the laws? And they reach into, like, the pocket of their robe and pull out, and on the table in front of him they put down what fell out of his journal.
Oh boy.
And slide it across to him. Questioning things isn't bad, I'd lie.
He snatches that fucking piece of paper up, because he's probably reread that a number of times and he knows exactly what it is. He is
are soft.
100% blustery of, where did you get this? How did you come across this? Have you been going through my things?
Okay. Positive outcome. Oh, wait, no, somebody else. It's my scene. Somebody else has got to do the complication.
Oh, boy.
What was your complication and idea? And then I'll just say it. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, well, no, but I was thinking that it could be how things now go. This is the pivot point.
Yeah, this is the pivot point
with
here.
Adlai and Quixote.
Yeah.
So,
like, things go well. Quixote's like, no,
yeah, I mean,
no.
like, it's in as much as, like...
You dropped it.
Things go well, or...
You dropped it.
Yeah.
Things are fine. Come here. Calm the fuck down. You know, that's, I think, a positive outcome where he accepts that.
Sure.
And a negative outcome is he doesn't accept that.
And then also he can be like, oh, do you get Temel in on this? Did she pick my pockets?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that's the negative outcome for sure.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, which way do I want that to go?
That's always the question.
I'm such an angst gremlin is the thing.
Oh, no.
What? On this podcast?
I know, right? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let the dice side decide.
Okay.
Because I think that's interesting both ways.
It's true.
Like, to see... Because, like, I really want to make the point that, like, Kitty does have the virtue of forgiving. They are trying. And, like, then it becomes narratively interesting because he has that book that they want. Not that they know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Plus, the whole thing about the loot dilemma is meant to be your party is in conflict. Like,
oh, yeah, we're in conflict. Maybe not necessarily about the loot, but hey, we do have the whole thing. But isn't that what all karma is?
So that's a success.
You succeeded. All right, so what do you say?
So you dropped it, Adlai, the other day when you pulled out your list and we were going through it, and then I upset you. So you walked off.
He's like clutching it in his hand where it's like wrinkling because it's not been rolled up tight enough that he could like hold onto it tightly without it like crumpling. Mm-hmm. So it's like crumpled in his hand, and he's like not shaking, but like he's definitely not stable in this moment.
I think they reach out and put their hand over his, clearly not trying to take it from him, but like trying to maybe encourage him to relax his grip a little.
Yeah, I think he he kind of does, but he's still like, he's not happy, but he kind of lets himself relax it just a little bit. He looks...
Is he ever happy?
A little afraid, honestly. Like, you're about to give him more wisdom he maybe doesn't know if he wants.
Yeah. This doesn't make you less, Adlai. And they smile. It's like, if anything, this makes you more. Because I don't think they're stupid enough to say, love is a good thing, dipshit. But
that's how they're feeling, and I think he's kind of getting
Yeah.
those vibes, and he sort of relaxes his hand a little more and maybe like shakes their hand off and goes, well, glad we had this talk. And he just fucking turns tail and marches right off because he's like, feelings? Ugh. Glad that's sorted out. He
Cool.
just,
I had an emotion.
Had an emotion, didn't enjoy it. Anyways.
Had an emotion, didn't enjoy it. Possible episode title for whichever else.
Great episode title, absolutely.
Alright. So that was scene... Oh, that was my scene 2, right? Scene 3, even.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Oh, I thought you meant scene 2 as in scene also.
Yeah, no, I think that was
Like,
your
yes,
scene.
It was.
That was my scene, because yours was getting the book. And that was my scene having that conversation.
Yeah.
So it is Temel.
Yeah, how would Adlai like to storm off and then find Temel being mildly destructive of someone's personal property? And that Go ahead.
I'm gonna say he probably, like, grabs Temel from by the back of her shirt and yanks her off of whatever she's standing on to be doing this.
Well, what she was doing is I really liked this idea. She was, like, standing, she had, like, found a broken down, like, piece of masonry or a table or something like that, and just has all of her knives lined out, and she's just throwing them at a target she carved onto the back of a bookshelf.
Oh my god.
And it's just
Love it.
being a menace.
Oh my god. I mean, I feel like he's still gonna do that, even though it may not
Yes.
be the most effective form of action at this point, because he is like 6'5".
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He big.
He big.
Yeah. He's still like a foot taller than her.
Yeah.
You know.
So he's gonna yank her off her feet, probably.
Yeah, I think, like, she's there and she's got, like, a knife, and it's, like, just as she throws it, he grabs her, so of course it goes wide, and she, like, squawks and starts, like, flailing, and attempts to punch you.
Okay.
Hurts her hand, because he's wearing armor.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't do
Very
anything
good.
to him, and he just goes, and what do you think you're doing, thief?
Not stealing something, thank you very much.
Certainly looks like property damage, though.
Yeah, that isn't limited to fiefdom, thank you.
Still betrays the law. You may not be a criminal in one way today, but in another you clearly are. And he's pointing at this fucking, like, you carved a fucking target into the back of an old gilded bookcase.
Yeah, and who's gonna miss it? Were you gonna carry this out with us? Some gold plating so we can patch up your armor when we're back on the surface? You're looking a little scuffed there, buddy.
Of course not.
Then what damage is it?
The fact remains that this belongs to somebody still. I'm sure this wizard had some sort of descendants or...
You know what this means?
What?
You're breaking the law because you're stealing from somebody.
I'll have you know that this is sanctioned by the crown, and thus...
Yeah, so the whole crown is stealing from some wizard's descendant, is what you're saying? I'll take your silence as a, oh my god, I just realized that.
He's glaring at you, and he's like, I do not have time to argue with thieves. You may have saved my life once, but that does not mean I will be lenient with you on your future crimes.
She's like, I don't need you to be lenient with me, and very easily manages to, like, wriggle her way out of his grip, and, like, stands up straight, pulls out her jacket, and just goes, you can try and grasp at straws all you want, Paladin, But the fact remains, if this thing still belongs to somebody, then we're all thieves. The crown, the biggest one of all.
The crown may ask of her subjects what she will. And he just storms off.
She picks up her knife and, like, whirls around and throws it right at the target. She's like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Because I still feel like he may be sort of leaning more towards the idea of perhaps crime committed out of desperation might not be as deserving of the same punishment as crime committed out of greed. But he is definitely still on the side of...
I am a very desperate person.
Yeah, okay. He's still very much on the side of crime committed out of greed is nothing more than sin. You know.
Okay. Complication.
Complication.
Yes, please.
Right.
You throw the knife hard enough that it splinters through the back of this bookcase, revealing a secret compartment within.
Ooh.
Positive outcome. You find some shinies.
Yeah, I was about to say, secret compartment's got some shinies.
Yeah.
Negative outcome, trap.
Negative. I was gonna say, some kind of trap. I feel like something is gonna get out. Like,
Ooh.
she releases something.
Ooh.
I'm not saying, and it possesses her, because I'm not interested in taking that away. But something.
We've already done possession once in Karma.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Or then maybe it's like a poison or something. Some kind of trap. Or it could literally be a miniature explosion kind of a trap.
Yeah.
And it destroys whatever is inside there and she gets hurt.
Yeah.
Because it was not a trap designed to be done that way.
Come at from the back.
Not a trap designed to be triggered this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot, actually. Like, you somehow manage to bypass the trap mechanism if it's a positive outcome and you just get the goods. If it's negative, you activate the trap.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take a negative die.
Yes, good.
I like lurking up in the top because Temel is very lucky, but also not in the moment. So let's see what happens.
Have you moved your karma pool?
I did.
Alright.
Alright, drum roll please, everybody. A 1.
Oh, that's a negative outcome.
That's a negative outcome there. Holy shit.
So I think this is like the knife sinks through.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, huh, that went further than I expected, and you take a step forward.
I have to go and, like, retrieve my knives now. I'm, like, all out.
Yeah. And as you get closer to pull your knife out, it detonates. And I think, like, that whole bookcase goes, and the force is enough to, like, knock you backwards into another one.
Yeah.
That's gonna probably bring both of us running at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because, like, Adlai just left the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's still, like, you probably, like, felt a bit of it. Like,
yeah.
You felt something.
Mm-hmm.
God.
And as we've said, this is a large room, but it's still like a room.
Yeah, an enclosed space.
Yeah, well, I kind of want my scene to be Adlai comes running, drags Temel up by the back of her shirt again. How is Temel doing?
Can we take a quick break before we
Yes.
move on?
Yes.
Hi, it's Dora, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on iTunes, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about our show using the FTLcast hashtag. No, seriously, we crave the validation and it helps us out. Your support really means a lot. Thanks again!